Howdy, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave.
And welcome to today's Mastermind. Now, today's topic is basically appearing bigger than what you are. And this is a great one because it takes very, very little input from your point of view to appear much, much bigger than you really are, if that makes any sense. This is making your business look like the size of John Lewis, for example, or Walmart or Amazon, as the case may be, to anybody who gives certain sections of your site a look, just a quick glance over or cursor over on there. Now, Dave, before we go any further, there is two things which have happened today. We've had Magento being, but I'm not going to spoil the thunder. Do you want to cover what's just been happening those?
Absolutely. So it was late last night, actually, around 10:30, 11:15 last night. The news broke that Adobe have agreed to acquire Magento. Now, it's not an immediate thing. It has to go through all sorts of regulations and stuff, but they're aiming to complete by Q3 this year. And Richard's put a post up on esellercafe.com, so go and check that out. He's also got a post coming tomorrow dissecting the call that they had. Because Adobe's a public company, they have to have a sort of like a shareholder call whenever there's big acquisitions like this. So again, we'll find out more over the next few months as to what this means. Adobe seem to want to be bringing this into their Adobe's Enterprise Cloud or whatever. So again, with their sort of marketing, their analytics and their ad suites, they're looking to bring in this commerce suite as well. So Adobe are very much interested in utilizing Magento as a commerce platform and tying it together with other tools and suites and software that they use. What this means going forward long term, what they're going to do with it, how it's all going to tie together. Is it going to do a SaaS model again? Who knows? I mean, that's at the minute, it's all speculation. We don't really know. But if all goes ahead, if all is well with the numbers, then Adobe have bought Magento for $1.6 billion.
It's $1.68 billion. It's a huge chunk of cash. So let's just do a quick history lesson here. So Magento was originally created, what was it, in 2008 by two chaps. It went through, then eBay bought them. eBay has like a terrible history with third-party tools like e-commerce ones, pro stores, prime example. Skype is another one. And anyway, it was sold to a bunch of investors a year or so ago. Big like disruption, like that's where M2E Pro, the subsidy, went away from that. And we knew that Magento had been bought by an investment firm for all intents and purposes, and it would most likely get sold on later on. To be honest, I want to do like you guys have done really well to take it from where it was and then value it at $1.68 billion. That's a lot of dollars. And as Dave was saying, this isn't going to get It's a definitive contract has been signed, but this is not going to really happen. Anything's going to move until like late this year at the earliest, I think, realistically. What they do with it in the future, nobody really knows, but only they got an idea. I'm sure, again, the open source side of it will stay open source. It has to stay open source, if that makes sense. Whether they provide updates long term to it is a whole different thing, but nothing is going to really change in the short term. It is also, Dave, just about to pass my point of view on this one. I would be highly surprised if they don't offer a SaaS option of some shape or form. I know Magento Go kind of fell on its face. But there is massive potential there if it's easy to use, if that makes sense, or easy-ish to use. So, yeah, sorry, that's my 2P chucked in on that one. What else has just been going on as well, Dave?
Literally just as we went live, just maybe about an hour ago, eBay have released their summer update for 2018 on the UK. I've checked the US site, nothing's live there yet, but guarantee it's probably just a time zone thing and something will be live shortly. To be honest, there's not much big news. It is literally just an update, and there's nothing major going on. But this is part of Rob Hattrell's, and again, I got to meet Rob a couple of weeks ago at Catalyst. Really nice guy. But it seems to be that his big thing was keeping sellers up to date with what was going on at eBay. And that's what this update seems to be about. I think the biggest one, Richard just sent over on Skype to me before we went live, is that it says, later this year, for sellers with a very high number of item not as described claims in a category when compared to their peers, or item not received claims for particular postage destinations when compared to their peers, eBay may add an additional 4% point surcharge on final value fees in that category, or extend the estimated delivery time for that postage destination respectively. So this is not new news. This, again, was part of the spring update. eBay will be putting a 4% fee for below thingy sellers, which is great. That's a good thing. It means your crap competitors are going to get penalized because obviously you are all great sellers. And they're taking it a little bit step further, sort of leaking out how they envisage this going. And the same with returns and delivery. They were getting stricter on this, and they've obviously released another method of how they see this happening. Other than that, it is largely just an update as to what's going on at eBay. So nothing majorly to worry about, but definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, and one bit which I'm just going to chime in with that one, Dave. The time's short now for this product catalog, and the time's winding down, and they've missed an opportunity to move a whole chunk of categories into them, into the product catalog as well, or to reconfirm that. So, bit disappointing from that point of view, from just the highlights which you said, and I've not read them myself, but yeah, product catalog is going to have a huge impact. And those of you which have been shopping on eBay lately, and maybe doing a Google search and going through their Google ads, for example, through the product PLA things, is that you'll know that the landing pages are different. And I have frequently landed on pages which have been product specific. Annoyingly, two of them, they were out of stock on their landing pages. But yeah, an opportunity missed as far as the catalog goes. So maybe there's going to be a big one in the next update. Who knows? Who knows? So,
yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, autumns tend to usually be spring and autumn always seem to be the big updates. Summer and winter came in and were largely just little bitty updates. So we'll see.
And this is not our words, but it made me laugh. Tommy Model said, "Can eBay please kick the Amazon dropshippers in the balls again, just for fun?" That is hilarious. Now we just need to. We're giggling about it. You're probably there giggling about it. Unfortunately, there's probably someone not there giggling about it because they're using the price disparity between the marketplaces to make a living, or subsidy anyway for themselves. But realistically, it was always known to be, it's that type of business which is fragile to one marketplace not liking another marketplace. There was no love lost there between the pair of them. And the arbitrage is it's not using Amazon as a fulfillment center. It's using Amazon as a fulfillment center for somebody else's products which you've been and sold. So there is a line difference. I'm sure you'll agree with that one. So yeah, we all giggled. And Richard's just put a message in. The US has just been released their updates as well. So I will pass that in the chat, or if I grab that from the chat by the looks of it, and I'll get that in there as well. So that's literally just coming out now, and I'll hopefully be able to post that. Yes, in the live chat for today's episode, which is those of you who are based in the US. Yeah, it's curious. Tory Model not disagreeing with that at all. Right, it's time for us to move on. So appearing bigger as you are. Now, this is a real great practical one, and we would love for you, boys and girls, to play along at home with this live mastermind, because you can play at home with this one. What I would like you to do, and of course Dave too, is nip across to your favorite website. Now, obviously, we're assuming this is not adult orientated, and it's going to be e-commerce. Sorry, I did a live chat last night, and it all went downhill. Sorry, I'll tell you about that one after, Dave. There it is. Right. Go to your favorite e-commerce website. It could be eBay. It could be Amazon. It could be I love pinkshoes.com. Whatever your favorite e-commerce website is, ideally, the bigger, the better. Okay, somebody which you perhaps look up to. Okay, and the reason why we want you to do that is because this is the kind of thing which you do and also your customers do. And generally speaking, in inverted commas, the bigger the site is or the more popular it is, the more like positive ticks which they have, and they're all subliminal. They're all very, very easy for you to implement. And the premise behind this is very simple. Even if you're just a one-person band, that's me being politically correct, is that you can still appear much, much bigger than what you are by just getting a few simple things right. So as you have been, I tell you what, I'm going to go and do John Lewis. So you, of course, like you can play along at John Lewis, which is quite a big brand here in the UK at least. And I'm going to go to their homepage, and this is great. I'm seeing some points here, Dave. So I'm assuming you've gone to johnlewis.com. Okay, in the top left-hand corner, and this is the like hammering. Just show the screen. Let me just show the screen. That's probably easier. We will get that note over there, and I need to choose the right button, which is that one, and click share and present to everybody. Okay, fantastic. We are getting there. So this is the John Lewis website. You will notice at the top, our shops. What happens if you don't actually own a shop? Some work premises. Okay, our shops, that implies that they have more than one because it's a plural. So simple, yet so effective. Customer services partnership card, insurance. These are kind of big boy terms, aren't they, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sticking these again is like the first thing that you'll see right above the logo. It's great trust builders. Again, it's like, oh, they have a partnership card. They've actually got a reward scheme in place. That must mean they're big guys, like, you know, Tesco Club Card and the other one that the Nectar card that Sainsbury's do. It's a big boy game having a partnership card.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really about you appearing much bigger than what you may feel that you are. And our shops, I love the plural in that one. You can see our local store or something like that. Okay.
A good one as well is store locator, because that is sort of neutral. It doesn't our shops is very blatantly, we have more than one shop. Yeah, store locator, even if you have one shop, people need help locating it. So, you know, it has the implication that there's more than one, but it could just be one, and like a link to a Google Map page.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Scrolling down, I'm just looking for some of these little trust indicators. Normally you find, there. John, I have honestly not been on the John Lewis website for as long as I can remember. Okay. But if you want something which makes you look bigger than what you are, you got partnership card, the gift list, John Lewis exclusive rewards, broadband insurance. Now, we're not obviously saying that you should put Waitrose on there, which is a food retail store here in the UK, which John Lewis also owns, or opticians. What we normally look at is this kind of section down here. And this is why we were saying, go and take a look at a site which you look up to. It doesn't matter if it's eBay, it's Amazon, or another retailer like John Lewis, or someone like that, and take a look at the bottom section of their site. And ironically, this is a section of the site which I know that I personally visit on a site which I've not been on there before, just to see if they've kind of got like the basics in place, like what happens with returns and delivery, and look, track your order, delivery and collection, returns and refunds, international orders. Okay, so track your order. Is you can have that put maybe into their My Account, or there's a tracking page, say with a Magento, for example, delivery and collection. That's going to be a standard content page, returns and refunds, and installation orders. These are not complex things. There is no special coding required for any of these options down here. They are all just straightforward contents pages, which you probably should already have. Do you have them? Are you sure? Have you checked? And the other option there, contact us. Every Magento site has a contact us section, for example. But what about customer services? And what about neverly, knowingly undersold, which is, by the way, a trademark of theirs, but you can put words there to affect shops, stores. Now, Dave, we're looking for other things. Jobs. JLP, so that's John Lewis Partnership. Jobs, okay, because everybody who works with John Lewis is actually a partner. Anyway, just mention of jobs down here as well. We're looking for a press section as well, which we don't have down here right now. Also, just going slightly off topic, you'll see the registered business details down here, which, let's face it, if you're a registered business, even if you're a sole trader, you can still put, and by the way, you're supposed to legally put this information on your site in any way, including a contact telephone number, and put that info down at the bottom of the page. Again, VAT number, doesn't actually have a company number. Oh yeah, company registration number in there as well. Very, very simple things which you could and probably already own, put that at the bottom of your site. And again, put yourselves in the shoes of a potential customer. They go down and say that you're a registered company and you have a VAT number, then you've got the address on there. So even though that they'll never come and see you, or they'll never actually send you physical mail, it's just reassuring, you know. And that's what this whole point of ours is that appearing bigger than what you are is doing nothing special. It's just making a point of the stuff which you've got available to you. So I'm just going to move across to the points which we've got here on the sheet here in the background, and let me just get this stop there and get the screen back. Yeah, what did we write on there? Yeah, the nice thing about being an online business is it allows you to do things that would make your business look much bigger than it really is, and customers just don't doubt your capacity. That is the crucial thing, is that based upon this flat page, this isn't like going into Broadmead or into your shopping centre and there's a tiny little store, you know, the little tiny little foam shops, Dave, that where you can just about walk in and they've got everything hanging on the sides and that's it. You can make that store, that tiny little one-person shop, appear the size of John Lewis online. It's very easy to do just by getting some of the basics right. And that's actually one of the beauties of online, is that you can appear much, much bigger than reality says. There's also a note on here. Everybody who has a press office gives the impression that they're used to handling requests from the media. Okay. Yep. The average customer is just going to see press office, what? And they're never going to click on that link ever.
It's just not relevant to them. But seeing it there makes you sound bigger than you are. It's like, oh, they've got a whole team dedicated to the press office.
Absolutely. Again, just checking the notes over here as well. Having a page which shows the commission rates that you offer affiliate partners as well. Even if you don't even get an affiliate network set up, it still makes you look bigger than what you are. And actually, it might actually attract an affiliate. Somebody's interested in selling your products when they gain a commission. So there is potential in that one. And again, it's that kind of thing which you would kind of expect at the bottom of a larger business, because that's the kind of things which they would be thinking about. Again, our shops is a great example of that one. Another note here, and again, we are trying to keep the pace up on today's mastermind. We try and keep the pace up on these. And the other one is create a team page. So this could be meet the team, for example. Write the names or a short bio of your team members. If you don't have a team in place, there's nothing quite wrong with putting the names of your friends or family members on there, their pictures or avatars. Straightforward, isn't it? How many times have you seen someone's pet dog in a page, for example?
Yeah, I suppose Merlin doesn't have his own page on UE yet.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, just on that note, we've had a couple of great suggestions come in on the chat there as well. We've got James from Hobbybase saying worth adding, as it's something we've done recently, registering your brand and adding the little R symbol next to your logo is, again, it's a great brand. It's like, oh, this is a registered trademark. This is, you know, a copyright, whatever. This is a trusted business who've paid to, you know, protect their entity. And John also said as well, showing international shipping details prominently is a good way to show that you're more than just local, as well as offering sales in multiple currencies. even if that's just a little plugin which does the currency conversion roughly. It all helps.
Yeah, you could use Google for that. Just want to make a point here. This is kind of like follows on from last week's mastermind, is that where there's no like one thing which we can say to you, do this and magic unicorn P will come out of the floor, you know? It's not that kind of thing. We're not into that. You know that. And what we're talking about here is a collection of very small things all combined together. Because what's that little R symbol next to your logo? It is absolutely tiny. But in a customer's head, that is a tiny little tick in the right direction. The same as having a press office and meet the team and our shops or store locator is just little mental positive ticks in the customer's head, which costs you nothing more than really the time it takes to put a page together, if even that as well. So just to put this into context from last week, it does follow on fantastically well, because as we mentioned with eBay, there is no magic silver bullets is going to drive you a million sales, but actually collectively all these things put together will have a positive effect. And it's the same, completely applicable to your website as well. Right. So, by the way, fantastic for joining as well. Just saw Nick has put in a comment in there as well. Supplyhouse.com has a huge team page, which is pretty cool. Not something which I've looked at myself, but do go and take Nick's suggestion. Go and take a look if you're running short of ideas for what to do on a Meet the Team page.
It's one of those as well. You don't even have to have pictures. And this is something which me and Matt have mentioned previously in other masterminds. It's very easy to create email addresses. So you could have Linda, who looks after the press office. You could have Jane, who looks after all customer services. You could have Derek, who's your whatever warehouse manager, and they could all just be coming into your inbox.
Well, just catch all email addresses.
Exactly. That perception of the team can literally just be you and the wife, or you and the husband, or just you. But
and your dog called Merlin.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So again, even if this works at scale, if you're a one-man operation, you can still have the perception of a team, meet the team, take pictures of friends and family and stick them on the website with their permission. And yeah, it's a nice way to, again, appear bigger than you are.
Yeah, really. And how much time is that going to take you to do that? It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Not a lot at all. So let's quickly move on to, we mentioned about the team members on there. A page on your website dedicated to careers. Careers. So that's where we're pointing out John Lewis site, that JLP Partners. That's actually John Lewis Partnership Jobs on the bottom. So that may have made no sense to you, maybe as a third party reading that, but that's basically saying careers. How much effort would it take you to create a page called careers? Put some basic information there, which you may or may not have copied and pasted from someone else's website and done control, find and replace on to change their name with your company name, and then posted that on a site page on your site and obviously put it in the footer section of your site. Very, very simple to do. And also it does give you, I'm just reading words off here, impression that your business is constantly expanding, hence the requirement for new staff. Blimey. A partners page with the logos of the brands that you're selling definitely increases customers' trust with you, because it associates. It's straightforward to call by association. It associates your business with those brands. Now, obviously you can do a dedicated page to that, but there's nothing wrong with having those brand logos on your homepage somewhere. Okay, or at least on the product page, which we know Magento can do brands, especially with the someone's getting married.
So it's the worst ringtone ever.
It is pretty bad, Dave. I'll give you that one. Coming back onto the topic, I've lost myself now. Logos, yes, stick them on the homepage, stick them on your categories, stick them in your product pages, because these companies spend on obscene amounts of money to promote their brand image, whatever they feel it is. And remember, with branding, a lot of it is fluffy stuff. Okay, they will spend millions, if not billions, on the size of the company to create a brand or to reinforce a brand. So hijack it, They're spending all the cash, and you've stuck Nike on the front of your website, and suddenly you've got some of the coolness. Okay. So use brand logos, hijack what other people are doing, and then include it on your site. And it's straightforward, cool by association. Definitely works. Now, Dave, is the royal wedding over there?
Yes, it's finally over now. I guarantee that phone has not rang all day, and the one time that I decide to do on the webinar, it kicks off in the room with the most annoying ringtone. Amazing.
Oh yeah, always guaranteed. So yeah, hijack brand logos, definitely do that. Now I did actually just see some chat coming on here. Supply House have lots of dogs on their team. Literally, the guy with a pipe too. It does look like you definitely need to go to supplyhouse.com and take a look at their team page, because someone has definitely been taking the pee. All right. If you have a physical store, now actually I'm going to extend that statement to if you have a physical store or trade counter possibilities, because heck, who wants to stop a customer coming to you and giving you cold hard cash? I don't think anybody's going to decline that one, especially if you have the trade facilities to do that. Create a store locator, and it slightly gives you impression of a much larger business than what you are. Yeah, very, very simple to do. The language which you use in website content, emails, blogs, and instant messenger can paint a much bigger picture of your business. So somebody pings you on Facebook Messenger, and you don't type, "All right, mate, how you doing?" Is it hanging to the left today, or is it to the right? You're not going to type that in business correspondence, are you? You're going to type, or have at least copy and paste. Good afternoon, my name is Fiona, and I'm here to help. How can I help you today? So you're going to have stuff like that, which you're going to copy and paste. And it doesn't matter if you're a bloke. Let's face it, there's lots of fat Russians out there which say that there are other types of people. So on a serious point, calling yourself Fiona or Bobette or whatever name you would like to call yourself today, that is perfectly acceptable. And by the way, generally speaking, customer service women do seem to be a lot easier to deal with, if that makes any sense. Right. Okay. Moving on very quickly. And by the way, yeah, let's move on. Show the age of the company. There's nothing. So if you've been around since, like Magento, 2008, it's only been around 10 years. You might have only been around for one, but hopefully you've been around for a little bit longer than that. On a serious point, tell the people how long you've been around makes you more reputable as a business, because you wouldn't still be in business if you were completely crap. Let's just face the honesty there. So if you've been around since 2012, right, 2012 or 2015, because yeah, that's still 3 years ago, you know, so 3 years is still going strong, you know. So make a point of that. It doesn't matter if you're really old. You're not saying that 1890. We're not suggesting that you should tell porky pies. We haven't suggested anywhere in here you should tell porky pies unless your name really is Fiona at the weekend. And I'm just in one of those moods, and I've had far too much coffee today. But seriously, age matters. Okay, it's like getting into a club. Age matters. So it doesn't have to be a huge amount. It just has to be some. Okay, just to make the point that your business has been around for a while. It's just as simple as putting established since 1998 or whenever. It's the same simple little thing which you can do with very little energy on your part. It's the same as putting the R logo, R symbol next to your logo, because it looks like a registered trademark on there. I'm sure you'll get around to registering that trademark at some point in the future. Yeah.
Just say, oh, yeah. I thought I submitted the paperwork.
Yeah, or just tell them, yeah, I put it on the logo. I've got around to doing it. I don't think there's going to be any issues because we're quite unique in what we do. Anyway, how can I help you today? So, yeah, nobody's going to ask. That's the start reality. And it's all about just getting these little subtle ticks. And like I joked, I don't know, you may have taken it a bit of a joke, but I was actually being quite serious. Go and take a look at your top couple of websites, eBay, Amazon, Netflix. Go and have a look at the bottom of Netflix. Go and have a look at a collection of sites which you think are popular or would you feel would be getting these things kind of right. and then go and take a look at the very top of their website, go and have a look at the middle section, and have a look at the bottom, the footer area. Normally it's the footer area, and that's why we're kind of focused upon here. These are the kind of things which you would expect to see at the bottom of a website, and they really are just positive ticks, because if they're not there, there's a little, instead of it being a tick, there's a question mark left behind in your customer's head. And you don't ever want the customer to be questioning themselves, their product, or you. So get those boxes ticked in the top right hand corner in their head. It's little ticks, and I'm going to quickly run through those now. Before we do that, let's just have a quick look on their patent pending, yes, or some random number. Yeah, you see that in tools a lot, random patent pendings and stuff like that. Absolutely. So let me just quickly recap what we've been uncovered here for today's live mastermind. Is that number one, appearing bigger than you are, and that's just a simple thing. It's about making your business appear bigger online than perhaps what you are. Things which we mentioned, like careers, for example, having that on the bottom of your site. You may or may not get around to offering careers for people. You might just warehouseman or something like that. You may never get to the stage where you require additional staff. But as far as a customer's point of view, they see a careers page on there, and suddenly your site is taken just that little bit more seriously than what it was before. And remember that metaphor which I was using, like imagine you go walking down a high street in town, okay, and there's that tiny little phone shop, and it's tiny, and there's one bloke in the back, and the walls are rammed with phone cases, etc., etc. You can make that tiny little one-person wide store like the size of Carphone Warehouse, you know? There is no real limit to that. Yeah, and again, Dave, I think we've hit in on, there's one line in here in the notes. I'm going to read it word for word. It allows you to do things that will make your business look bigger than it really is, so that your customers won't doubt your capacity. Yeah. That pretty much summarizes everything.
It is. It's purely a trust building exercise with you and your potential customers. And Matt, I was, when you were talking about the partnership logos, and again that trust by association or cool by association, I was trying to find a website. I can't find it, but there used to be a website, and I think it was like a new product, almost like it had been kickstarted or something, like a new product they were having developed. And, you know, we've all seen them on websites where it says, we have been featured on, and then there's like CNN logo, BBC logo, Forbes, Entrepreneur, whatever. And this website, instead of that little text which was, we have been featured on, it said, we'd like to be featured on, and then CNN, BBC, Forbes. And I was like, oh, that's sneaky. But you know, you can't argue with it. They're basically stealing the logos for cool by association. But the little text was, we'd like to be featured on. And I saw, part of me was like, ooh, that's naughty. But part of me was just clapping, going, well done, marketing guy, whoever came up with that. Because
Dave, that's pretty borderline on there.
Isn't it? I was like, you know, oh, you got to like the balls out attitude to actually pull that off. But I saw it. I wish I'd have screenshot it. I can't remember where it was. But it was brilliant.
That's a whole new league. By the way,
yeah, not some do that. That's just an example that popped into my head.
Stick some brand logos on there instead. They're much easier to do and won't get you into any hot water if anybody should notice something like that. Press page, really straightforward. Press office, again, makes you look bigger than you actually are. The same for a careers page as well. An affiliates page as well. That's just something which you would kind of half expect on a larger site. Meet the team as well. Careers we've mentioned. Partners page as well with logos. And again, we must not forget about putting logos, especially high profile brands, on your homepage, on the product pages, in categories if you can do them as well. Very, very simple to do. Like we said, nothing which we are going to cover back at the beginning. I mean, nothing which we've covered here today is going to be rocket science. None of this is hard. This is just a straightforward, image and a bit of text in a content page on your site and a link at the bottom, which are all really not hard to do. On a scale of 1 to 10, we are talking like 1 or 2, because you might have to edit an image. That's why I'm giving it a rating of 2. You know, really straightforward. Careers, again, the careers page gives you the impression that your business is constantly expanding. We mentioned brands on there. Again, if you have a physical store or maybe even a trade counter, again, depends on the type of business you're in. You might want to call it a store, you might want to call it a shop, you might want to call it a trade counter, depending upon what you've got. You leverage that business location, and as Dave gave the hint at, having a store locator, which is actually just a pin on the map for your place of work with a Google Maps picture on it. Really not hard to do. Again, that's copy and paste code to do that. And again, it makes you look much bigger than what you actually probably are. We did mention about the language which you use in website content, emails, blogs, instant messages, and can paint a different business. Yeah, seriously, take a look at what you're typing back to customers, whether that be in instant messenger, whether that be in live chat, whether that be in your email communications. We could even be suggesting that you take a good look at your email footer. We're not suggesting that you put that great big load of crap at the bottom about is only sent to the intended purposes of use of this is of the one person only. Not talking that family-friendly stuff at the bottom. We're talking about making it look really professional. Like if you were called John Lewis PLC, you could be even tempted to copy and paste what they've written on the bottom of their website. I'm down there looking at it and changing John Lewis to Matt and Dave PLC. And then changing the address and using that as the bottom of your email footer would look really posh down there, to say the least. Again, the language which is used in instant messenger, you're not going to type "Oi mate" in there. You are going to go, "Good afternoon, my name's Fiona. I'm here to help. How can I help you today? Or can I take your name so I can help you today?" Because everybody likes talking about themselves, so get them to mention their name in the first sentence. So, yeah, have a play around on different companies' live chats. There are definitely some very good, well-structured experiences out there. And the last one which you mentioned was telling the people the age of your company. Okay, even a year old is a positive sign because you've been around in business for a year. If you've been around any longer than that, then happy days. Get it in the tagline or somewhere near the top of your website. And I'm just going to reiterate what I think I've said twice or 3 times before now. Nothing which we have mentioned today is rocket science. None of this is classed as hard. This is all really straightforward stuff and really easy for you to implement in your business literally this afternoon. Those of you which are going to be going in 1 hour and 20 minutes time, you could get some of this implemented in your site, even if it's just a straightforward case of creating a press page, track your order, delivery and confirmation, international orders, trade counter or our store locator, just creating those pages in your e-commerce site, putting the links in your footer. Even if you did that today, you've got 1 hour and 20 minutes starting in 2 minutes time to be able to do that in. We're not talking hard stuff here. And of course, you can backfill the pages over the next couple of days. And again, meet the team and the other bits which we're suggesting too. Do go and take a look at some of your favorite websites, especially the e-commerce ones. Go and have a look around. There's one website which is in the back of my head, and I'm just going to take a quick look and see. As an example, brilliant. We're having this one on the screen. Apologies. This is a good example. I will get this on the screen right now. There is a website called boohoo.com.
Fellow Mancunians.
Blinky screen. Apologies for the flickering screen now. I just saw it flashing on mine. Apologies for that. Look at this. In fact, if you replicate this on your site, you are doing very well. Help, track my order, customer services, Twitter. Returns, size guide, student discount. Dave, how did we miss student discount?
Great one.
So easy.
Horses discount, NHS discount, all applicable.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about submit your music, but cookies, privacy, T&Cs. It gets exclusive offers and things, delivery information. about us. Oh, Dave, how do we miss investor relations? Oh,
Investor relations.
Can you see what I mean? So simple. About Boohoo, or your company name, investor relations.
And the ironic thing,
just go to the page and nick it. Just copy and paste it and change the name in there. Well,
I was going to say,
can do it for that one, but
the Kamani family who own Boohoo are one of the richest families in the UK, not just Manchester. They're billionaires off the back of Boohoo. They don't need investors. They don't need investors. Unless they're offering to be investors for some other one else. I don't know.
Social responsibility. Look, hang on. Are they not just copy and paste the link for social responsibility? Does that... No, it's a different page. Yeah, social responsibility, that's a very simple one for you to add to your site. Careers, become an affiliate, become a partner, and sitemap, which you probably have for your site anyway. Obviously, get apps, and we're not suggesting that.
No,
a country mile. But this stuff, so like this side of the site is really easy for you to do. Like we said, not rocket science, very, very simple for you to go on and implement in your business. Literally this afternoon, and I'm assuming that in 1 hour and 19 minutes, you'll be chipping off at 5 o'clock. That's my assumption. Obviously, if you're going to stay a little bit later, you can get far more done. So, Dave, have I missed anything from this? Well,
not
just
at all.
Investor relationships and social responsibility. Wow,
got some new updated ones there. No, that's pretty much everything. And like you said, everything is fair game. Pretty much, you can go to a number of websites and just take the best bits that you can find from their websites that will make your website look as big, if not bigger, than what theirs is. And it isn't, like I said, it isn't lying. It's just the way that you portray things. It's the whole thing about selling yourself. It's almost like selling your company as a CV. You know, everyone's best self is on their CV. And that's exactly what this is, to make yourself look bigger, better than perhaps you may appear from a distance. It's all about that trust building exercise.
Yeah, exactly. Not hard, very simple, lots of examples out there. Go and pick your favorite sites. What did we look at? John Lewis, and I looked at Boohoo. 2 sites, you've got 90% of everything you would want in your footer there. If you don't have these pages created on your site just yet, if you don't have a little registered R symbol next to your logo, if you don't have in business since 19 whatever or 20 whatever, get it on there. It's just the easiest way for you to think about this is that, again, it's the ticks in a customer's head. Like, they might not ever click into your returns page or delivery and returns page, but the point is it's there, and they could do if they need to. It's just that tick in their head rather than being left as an unknown question mark. So very, very simple to implement, very simple to do.
Indeed, indeed.
On that note, it's time for us to wrap. Dave, what is next week's mastermind?
I haven't got a clue.
I haven't got a clue either, to be brutally honest.
Let me a second. I've got the list here. It's product research time.
Yay!
Product research next week.
So, by the way, this is next Tuesday. So if it's your first time here, welcome aboard. We do hold these masterminds every Tuesday at 3 p.m. UK time. And today we've covered appearing bigger than what you are on basically a shoestring budget, because none of this is going to really cost you anything at all except for a little bit of time. Next week is product research. These are our favorite ones of them all, because you get to suggest a type of product and we will go off and see what kind of competition and what gaping holes, which there are always gaping holes in your competition for different products, even in the most competitive markets. But we must admit is that we do like the obscure products because they are always most fun. I'm sure we will go on a journey together, and we've got no idea what we're going to research next week. It's going to be up to your suggestions. So we will be looking for wacky and wild, if not serious, suggestions of types of products which we can go and look and see what kind of the potential is for those on the marketplaces. So that'll be next week at 3 p.m. UK time, or the same time minus 44 minutes, with you live next week. So on that note, it is time for us to go. We would both like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to join us here live. Dave, do you want to do the thumbs up and the subscribe thing?
Absolutely. So if you have found this video useful, if you enjoyed this webinar, then hit that thumbs up button. It lets me and Matt know that this was a good one and you enjoyed it. And if you are new here, like Matt said, and you're not already subscribed, then hit that subscribe button down below or click the little bell icon while you're down there as well, and you'll be notified every time that we go live. It's the same time every week, Tuesday, 3 o'clock UK time. But you'll get the reminder on your phone if you've got the YouTube app or on your desktop. And yeah, that's everything. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all the rest of it. It's all good.
And of course, you can find us, myself and Dave, over at UnderstandingE.com. Link to that is down in the video description. On that note, it is time for us to go. Thank you very much for joining us here live. We'll see you again next Tuesday. Cheerios.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.